Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Beauty on a Budget. My name is Heather and today is Saturday, May 3rd of 2025 and I am down here in my basement because this is my thing I'm going to be working on this week. So I'm just going to pan the camera. My basement looks like I've been trying to get this done, just doing other areas in the house. Everything just kind of got brought back down here. Now you will see there's a stack of like 4 or 5 totes that are empty that are there. Stuff's on top of them. These trunks here are basically empty. Some of these other bins here are empty. So it's just, some of it is just having empty items just still in the way. Like you can see there's a couple empty boxes here. It's just kind of hard to get past here, but this was just Christmas stuff. You know, my Christmas tree is down here. All my ornaments are down here. I've got a pile of blankets. I'm going to say blankets and bedding just kind of makes up a big pile of stuff. I've got a couple of bags of the different wreaths I've made over the years. And then just more boxes of stuff I have to go through and organize. So my first thing I'm going to do is just get this stuff here pushed over that way. And I have 4 of these little white cubbies. 2 have 9 and 2 are 6. So I want to take those 4 pieces of furniture upstairs first. So that's what I'm going to work on right now, is just clearing out this section here, pushing everything to the side, and getting these 4 units cleared off and taken upstairs. I don't quite know how long that's going to take me to do, but that is my goal for today. Then anything else I can find that I can just start putting things away where they need to go. All right, in just a few minutes, I was able to clear out this whole area here so I can get to the 4 white cupboards that I'm going to take upstairs. So this big black garbage bag is just full of hangers, and then I just threw all the bedding up there. This bag here is Christmas decorations. I've got 4 totes that are empty. Those are some little cardboard boxes that are empty. I've got more flattened boxes that are empty, and then I've got another bag here of more hangers. I'll set this here so it doesn't fall. And then I've got a couple of, these are all just empty bags, and I've got a couple of these reusable bags full of more reusable bags. So that group of stuff there is basically just empty bags and empty bins. I have this little shelf here I'm going to put in the laundry room. Then I've got, this is just a bin. I think this one had toys in it, because this is the train tracks and a few other toys. And I believe this other one here was toys. Yes, that's more toys. And then I'm going to take the glass items that are on these shelves and my coffee maker, and I'm going to put them in the pantry for now. So I'm just going to clear off these shelves and get ready to take them upstairs. And I've got all 4 shelves cleared off. I'm going to wash them before I take them upstairs, just because there's dust everywhere. But as you can see, if I stand over in this corner here, which I can actually make it to and go that way, still have a lot of stuff to deal with, but knowing that I've got these all cleared off, and then I will have this area here to bring out some of the bins, go through them one at a time. I said I'm doing this one last time, going through everything. Everything is either keep or go. That is it. I do have a few items that are kind of maybe-ish kind of things, which I will put in their own little category for now. But most of this stuff I'm going to go through, and it's either keeping or getting rid of. And the getting rid of is either garage sale or garbage, or maybe some of it just straight to like donation right away. But I've got a bunch of stuff that's, you know, good usable stuff, makes great garage sale type items. So that is what I will be doing. So I guess I'm just gonna wipe these shelves down and get them upstairs, and then I will be back. All right, so I got the 4 cabinets upstairs, and the other little single door cupboard I had, I've taken upstairs as well. So now I've got room to work in. It's not a lot of room, but it's more room than I had before. So now, like I said, I'm just going to start organizing this stuff slowly, deciding, first of all, figuring out if it's office or crafting, and then figuring out, kind of how I want to set everything up. So I still want down here as my main crafting area, so I'm not taking up the rolling carts full of craft supplies or staying down here. I've got the table set up down here for crafting, but I want to kind of create like another crafting area and an office area upstairs. So I'll just show you what upstairs looks like. Right, so I've got the 3 along this wall, that other little cabinet there, and then the other one right under the window. I don't like this placement. I had another placement that I think looks a lot better. So I'm just gonna move these all down, and I'll be right back to show the way I think it looks better. Right, so now by pushing all the shelving units against this wall, and then having that little shelf there, I do have a space. So I'm still trying to figure out if I like this or not. If I like this little cupboard here or not. But I can still open it. And I love this idea of having the chair right here in this corner. So I just have to figure out if I like it with that white shelf there, or I might move that little white shelf. But for now, I'm going to leave the little white shelf there while I figure that out. And then I do like this other little one just sitting right underneath the window. I don't know how I'm going to like it once the curtains are put up. But this one, I can always put it on its other side, and then it'll be like a taller cabinet. My plan was to have all 4 units right against this wall, but I was short by about 17 inches. And so this little cupboard that's sitting here is 11 or 12 inches. I'm not quite sure, just kind of depend on which side I measured. So I do have a couple of, inches right here. But because I would like to have the lamp next to this chair, I don't know if that white cupboard is going to stay behind there. I'm going to leave it there for now, just because I'm not working on this room. I got to go back down to the basement. And like I said, this is still my daughter's stuff she's got to finish going through. But I'm liking the way this is set up right now. So I'm going to head back down to the basement and start going through things. All right, so in the middle of my organizing, me and my husband, he was outside. He was cutting all the trees down. He's got to go get new blades. So we took a lunch break. So I had to stop at the dollar store. I measured these cubicles, trying to figure out why my bins don't fit. And I don't know why. I think as I've had so many of these different cubicles, and I'm told that they're supposed to be like, like a 12 by 12 is what they have said that they were. I actually measured, and it's only 11 inches. So that's why none of our cubicle, or none of the bins we've ever bought fit perfectly. They kind of have to get squished a little to fit in. So I was at the dollar store, and I found this one. How much was this one? This one, it was $3. And so it is 12.2 inches by 5.9 inches by 5.9 inches. Now I did have to open at the store just because I didn't quite understand those measurements. Sometimes I'll go to the other section and grab a ruler, but today I just thought they had a few different ones and I wanted to see. And I really, I'm just going to pause for a second. Yeah, sorry, just trying to get this basket set up. I just couldn't do it one-handed. But yeah, I just thought it was so cute. They've got these small ones, and they've got the next size up, which is a 12.5 by 12.5, which I know would not fit in these cubicles. But I just wanted to see, how cute that would look. Center this. I guess I can't do it in that one. I'll have to center it in this one. They are longer than, like if I get to the edge here, it does hang over, so they are longer, which would be fine because I have to have these pulled out from the wall because of the baseboard. So that would be fine, and it gives me a little bit of room on either side, or just put right here so I can have, something else standing here. But I just want to see how cute that looked. I mean, I can even use these in other places as well. It's just, I was looking for something small for in my bathroom, or in the laundry room, just looking for something small and cute. And I just kind of like these. It's got that wood front and the one metal where your handle is. All the other sides are just this solid, I guess like a mesh type thing. So I just grabbed the one because I took it out of the package and I could not get it back in. If I could get it back in, I probably wouldn't have bought it today. Yeah, see, they say they've got 3 different sizes that look like this. So I'm going to look for the other ones just because I've got all this room up here on top. I also have bookshelves, and I love baskets on my bookshelves too. Then while I was there, because I am doing stuff, one of my kids have, their grad dresses, so I grabbed another one of these dress bags. So $1.75. And then while I was right in the same little row, they have these, it's the little bra washing bags. You get a pack of 2, and it was like $4. Not really on my list of things to get. I did need another one of these, and I just wanted to test out this little basket. I just thought it'd be kind of cute. This way it just kind of gives me an idea of kind of what size I need to fit in here. So yeah, so now I'm just gonna go back down to the basement and to continue cleaning it out. Right, so sorry about that. It's been about a week since I've been down here. So this pile here is just all the bedding that was in the hall closet. And then I do have, under there is the shop vac, and I do have a box of donation items under there. And I have another box over by the shop vac, and it is soap and candle making supplies. So it looks high, but it's just, you throw bedding on top of other things, it always looks higher than it is. Then under the stairs here, I've got all these bins and boxes and bags. They are all empty. So these are boxes that I've been emptying, just cleaning. Some of these are from upstairs in the spare bedroom, but most of these are from down here. Or these bags here were the bedding, because I had gone through and I had actually gotten rid of quite a lot of bedding already. Going through finding just garbage bedding sheets that, should have been thrown out, but we kind of kept for, wrapping anything while we were moving. But yeah, so this stuff here is all just empty. And then there are 2 shelves under here as well. So that's actually the stack. So it's actually 1 bookshelf. Then as I come this way, I've got just these 2 trunks here. One's got personal papers in it. One's got some art supplies in it. So I'm just going to go over here. You can just see, so this is where I'm going to start today. I'm just going to start along this wall and work my way around. Just clear out this section here and work my way around the room from left to right. Like I said, under there is a table, and I've got some bags that have the different wreaths I made, and then I've got like comforters thrown up on top. There's about 4 comforters piled up on top of the table, which is what's going to make it look like there's such a big pile of stuff over there. But if you just kind of know where the height of the table is, and then I've got, like, I said, couple bags of wreaths, and then 4 comforters on top. So it just makes it look like there's a lot of stuff. And then you can even see, like, I've got my Christmas tree is sitting there. And so when you put, so when you've got a Christmas tree sitting up, it's just one of those small, like 3-foot Christmas trees just sitting there. And then you've got a box that's sitting on top of it. You know, I mean, it looks like there's a lot of stuff. There is not really that much stuff in this area. So what I'm going to do is anything that I am going to be donating or selling, like I've got this whole box here of kitchen appliances, I'm going to be starting taking that stuff upstairs and out to the garage. All the Christmas or seasonal decor, I'm going to put them in boxes. I'm taking them out to the garage. That way I can separate all seasonal items in the garage and figure out what I have, what I'm going to keep and not keep. So I'm just gonna start. Like I said, I've got a few boxes I got to take upstairs and take out of here. And I'm just going to slowly, work on this. So I'll be back as I get this stuff, kind of separated and cleared out. Well, I've been working down here for about half an hour. I just moved all the bedding that way by the vacuum so I could get in and see what was here. What I found here was just a box of stuff I had from upstairs to donate. And then I've got 2 small boxes and 3 paper bags of items I'm going to set on my driveway shortly. I have a stack of papers that was day home stuff. I got to go through and see if it's usable to donate or if it is recycling based on, names and things. I'm just putting all my seasonal Christmas and Easter decor in this bag. I have a few things that just fell now. But over here, I moved this, my shoe rack over. And then I've got these totes that were already, there's 3 of them, that were already kind of gone through. I mean, I've got Christmas stuff sitting on top of one of them, but I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going through those bins. I have this black bag that had stuff from my bedroom. So, I mean, I saw my camera and some important wires and things, so I just set that aside. I've got these 2 little carts here with the drawers. The white and clear one is hair accessories, and the purple one is all my spa stuff. So I figured those I don't need to do anything with. I found a stack of games and puzzles. I just set them there. So, yeah. Like I said, I know I was working this way, and I kind of hit the wall, and then I came back and just started working in small sections, just going like right to left. This box on the top is toys. The box underneath is toys. So I don't have to touch those. That's just some art supplies. That blue tub there is just decor and art supplies. And then, like I said, I got some Christmas stuff on top. So I kind of know what's there. That's a box of books. That's a box of glass jars. And I think the the canisters. And I'm just going to check and see, what I'm using in my pantry. But I'm probably going to donate or, give away most of those jars. I'm just going to see. That box there is an empty box. It was from my computer. And then this box here is already packed up with stuff to be on the driveway that just never got put there. This clear bag here has got some Christmas garland. And then that huge black garbage bag is full of hangers. So, like I said, it won't take me too long. Oh, and that other yellow tub there is full of containers and plastic dishes that I'm just going to donate as well. So once I get, and that other tub there is just books. So once I get the books and the donations moved out of here, I've gotten, like I'd say, half my basement is done today. And it's only taken me, half an hour so far. Any boxes like these here are crafting supplies. I'm not touching them. Same with the rolling carts. I'm not touching them today. The bookshelves, anything that's on the bookshelves that I can see that I'm definitely not keeping, I'm just going to get rid of. Otherwise, I'm not really going after boxes and bins that are packed. Now, if I find the reusable bags, I am going through those. So doing all this, I did empty a couple more bags. Let's just see how many bags I have. I've got 1, 2, yeah, 2. I emptied 2 more bags this morning, just going through this stuff. So like I said, I'll be back as I get more of this stuff, you know, cleared out and sorted. Okay, so been down here 15 minutes. My pile of bedding over here has gotten bigger, just because that's all the bedding that was piled up over here on top of the table. So I just got things still on the floor to deal with, but I can now actually walk through my basement. Still, you know, things are just piled up. It's when you have big boxes and baskets sitting on top of each other, and then the stuff is level with the table, and then everything just gets, you know, level with the table and then piled up higher than the table. It just makes everything look so much worse. But like I said, I'm working on down here. That's just more wreaths that are made. This pile here is my purses. And then under there, the 2 boxes are candles. And then behind the 2 boxes of candles are all my shoes. And then I've got a laundry basket and another just large basket. And then I've got some more wreaths, and I got this bag here with more wreaths. Then there's some Christmas pillows there. There's a big Christmas decoration I made. So it's still higher than the table. So everything just kind of leans on the table still. And then come over here. I've got a laundry basket that's got pictures in it that I have to hang. Then I've got a couple of these large baskets here that have got crafting supplies, and then other baskets and florals. So it looks like a lot of stuff, but really there's not that much. Most of this stuff is in bags or boxes already. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing this. Like I said, that big bag is just hangers. Then I got this other bag here. I don't know what this, oh, yeah, this bag also has hangers. So I'm going to take the hangers upstairs and I'll put them away. So I've got 3 bags there of more wreaths that I had made, or the materials to make the wreaths. I also have a chair in there, and then I found 3 large empty boxes, and I threw them in the bathtub, and they take up the whole bathtub. So one is for a pair of boots, one's a microwave, and the bottom one was my computer. And then, what do I have here? Oh, those glass jars and a box of books and a baby bath. And then, like I said, I've got more wreath forms in this box. And then here is Christmas and seasonal decor. Then over here, I've got these 2 boxes and some bags of stuff that I'm going to put on my driveway right now. That clothing rack I'm also going to put on my driveway. It's a little broken, but it will work if somebody really needs it. And then I've got a stack of my trays and my baskets, which I am definitely keeping. So I'm just going to go and take the stuff out on my driveway for anybody to come get. Oh, I might put this on my driveway. I love this. It does not work in the bathroom down here the way the shower is. I'm not sure if it will work upstairs because we kind of changed the shower a bit. So I will test it and see. If not, I'm just going to stick it in the box to donate. It was only from the dollar store. It was between $4 and $5. But it was a really good solid one. So yeah, I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'll be back when I get more of this stuff moved out of here. Right, so I'm back down in my basement. I'm gonna get this finished today, possibly tomorrow as well, but it's around noon. Yeah, it's just after 12. So I've got like till about 6 o'clock tonight before I have to leave, after 6 o'clock before I have to leave tonight. So I've got a good 6 hours to work on this today. And I just want to get this completely finished today. And so, yes, that's what I'm going to work with. This pile over here is all just bedding. There is a couple bags or boxes here of Christmas decor, and then this box here has wreath forms in it. A couple boxes or a couple bags of bedding. But for the most part, I've already gone through this stuff, so I know what's here. I don't need to touch this today. But it is this stuff here, and I really wanted to get it all put away somewhere where it's going to go. If I find any wall decor, I want to kind of get the stuff hung up. I will be taking my sewing machines upstairs. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this table yet. I don't know. Can't quite figure out what I'm going to do with that table, but I've got all these other bookshelves here, and I got these rolling carts full of art supplies, and to be honest, I've got more art supplies than I know I'm going to ever use, so I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of this stuff. So that's all I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to go through one box or bag at a time. So I'm going to start here. Just going to come on this side of the trunk. So I'm just going to start here. And if this stuff is to keep, donate, garage sale, that type of things. I've got boxes outside on my driveway again. I'm donating things. I've been putting stuff out all morning already. So I know I've got a few more things that I can just go and start putting out. And then, yeah, just want to get this all done and be done with my basement. And then I can actually start on the garage, which I told my husband I'd probably do middle of this week. I should be out in the garage. So I'll be back as I get more and more of this stuff, gone through and put away. Okay, so I've been down here about an hour now. On top of here, I found some more blankets, and then I also just throwing my purses up here, and I've got a bag there for my belts. I've got this box almost full for donations again. I've already taken a small box of stuff out on my driveway, plus I already redid my ad on Kijiji. But you can now see the center of my floor and under the table. So I've made, huge progress so far. That's all my shoes. So I'm going to quickly go through those. And anything that doesn't fit or I know I'm not going to wear, I'm going to put out on my driveway as well. Then it's this pile of stuff I still have to kind of deal with. But I want to finish this pile of stuff here. You can see there's laundry baskets and other baskets with, florals and just, florals and baskets is what is in this corner here. And then over on this side of the table, I've got that wicker basket, which is full of material. And then these two boxes are full of my candles. Then I just have a few things to still kind of put away, and then getting this table cleared off. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm just going to go through the shoes. Then I'm going to clear off this table and go through this pile of stuff. And then, then I've got this pile of stuff, but I don't have any room to deal with this stuff. Over here, I've got a whole bunch of bags. Well, one kind of tipped out, but those first 3 or 4 of these clear garbage bags are my wreaths that I have made. Then I've got a couple clear bags of mostly Christmas decor, and then the Christmas tree, and then that other stack there are all empty boxes from the last time I had gone through here. And then under here again, it's just empty boxes and empty bags. I do have one box that I was throwing personal items in, like personal papers, stuff like that, just so I'm not getting it mixed up with other things, so I can take my personal papers and put them with the other papers in my room. I got all these juice jugs here. Again, I'll be, just checking, make sure they've got their lids, no cracks, nothing like that, and I'll probably be putting them out for donation as well. So I guess I'll be back as soon as I get all of this cleared out. Right, so I've gone through my shoes. Those are the ones I think I'm going to keep. I still have to try a few on to see if I'm going to keep them. I've got about 5 or 6, yeah, 6 pair that I don't seem to have the mate to. So, I'm not tripping over my puppy. I don't have too many shoes I'm keeping. I'm at the point where I've got shoes I love to wear, and then, I don't know, I think I want some new shoes now. So those are the ones I'm keeping. That laundry basket is pictures and mirrors and some home decor. The basket beside it is all home decor stuff. It just safest if it just stays there in the corner until I'm actually gonna go through each bin and box again. And then I've got my 2 boxes of candles, box of material, and then this other basket thing here has got all my camera attachment stuff, like the tripods and everything like that. So I'll come around this way. There is a few things on the table that I just threw on this pile, like the things of gift wrap. So this will be my next pile of stuff to go through. I mean, I kind of knew what was here. There's big gaps under this stuff, but a lot of this stuff was just boxes that I have to go through each box and decide each item if I'm keeping or donating. So I just want to finish clearing this area out. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put my shoes, figure out where I'm going to put my candles, and then yeah, I will just continue cleaning and decide again like where the shelves are going to go. I'm going to measure the wall, like how long this wall is, and see if all the rolling carts will fit along this wall or if they will have to go along this longer wall. Like I said, I would prefer the rolling carts against this wall and then having all the bookshelves over here. Although I know when I had this tall bookshelf over there, it kind of blocked the window. So I don't know. I'm still deciding how I want to lay everything out in this basement area, make it more usable. So I'll be back as I get more of this stuff put through. And I said I've got another box is full to take out for my outside. And I've got the laundry basket is also full with all the shoes that I am not keeping. So I'm going to go take those things out and just continue going through all this stuff. So it's almost 6 o'clock, so I have been working down here all day, or since about noonish. So yeah, got all that cleared off. So I got the white laundry basket, and those are the 3 black mesh bags are full of home decor pictures and stuff. The gray tote has toys, and then up on top I've just got some more games and toys. I had the table cleared off, but I found a few glass items and some sewing stuff, so I just set them up there. And then down here I've got this little other box there that's full of toys, and then I've got these other 4 bags. 3 of them are laptop bags. One actually has one of my laptops in it. The other ones all have electronic stuff in them. Kind of straightened out this and gone through whatever was sitting up on top of here. And then I've got those other 3 bins sitting there. There's the purple one, there's the black, white with the pink trim, and the red one are all full of material. And this box here is candle making and soap making supplies. And then in this yellow basket just has all of the stuff, what is it called? Oh, the deco mesh and tulle, and then some shelf liners and wrapping a wallpaper I just kind of set up on top of there. So getting this done slowly. So I just have this pile of stuff here to do, and I will come back and finish this tomorrow. I got to get ready to go tonight, so I'm going to just put a few more of these items. Like I got this pedestal, and I got this other box here, and I got some stuff that's kind of sliding down. So I'm just going to kind of move this stuff up on top and just kind of spread it out to see what exactly is still in this pile. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow morning to finish the basement. So that is my plan. Tomorrow to have this pile gone, and then to have all of the rolling carts and everything lined up against the one wall. Actually, I Just got to figure out where the air exchange is, somewhere along this wall. So yeah. And I like this blue shelf right there sitting in that corner. I'm just deciding, you know, kind of how I'd like to have it. I do know the other brown shelf, if I have it here, it covers the heat exchange, so I don't want the other shelf to be here. So I'll probably just keep this shelf here, and then all these other 2 bookshelves and these other rolling carts will all go along this wall. That should fit. I'm just looking at where, you know, where this stuff here, and these 2, sometimes I stack them so I can, you know, those 2 sets of 3 drawers, they do stack, and it does save me some space if I had to do that. So like I said, I will be back tomorrow. It is now about 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. So last night I moved a few items around just to clear this here and to allow people to get into the washroom and laundry room. So that's still bedding, and then I've got my purses there, and I've also got some like empty bags or boxes are kind of just sitting up on top. So this pile here is kind of high, but there is boxes under here as well, so it's not that much stuff. Got about 6 of these little fabric bins here with the sequins on them. They're also set up because they were full of stuff. They're now empty. So again, this is all the boxes and bags of stuff I've gotten empty. The microwave box is empty again too. So, and then oops, this box here, well, not that, need that, but this box here is already still almost full of stuff to take outside. And then, yeah, just gotta go through all this stuff. I did move all the rolling carts along this wall and that one bookshelf. And then over here, I just put the 2 trunks kind of in this area here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the trunks at this moment. They are full of my stuff, but not sure where I'm gonna store them or put them. I'm kind of liking the way that this is looking, how much better it is looking. So I'm just gonna continue to go through this stuff and see what, you know, where I'm gonna put it all. So I guess I'm just gonna, yeah, not really sure where to start, but I'm getting this done. Even if I stopped here, the basement is actually, you know, pretty usable, and I have access to a lot of my crafting supplies. So I'm just gonna continue working, although I think I might start over in this corner here with this bedding and stuff, get it all folded, gone through, folded neater, so I have access to the pantry and my closet, and then dealing with the stuff that's under the stairs, all these empty containers, just so they're out of my way. But I will be back as I get more of this stuff, you know, put away. So it's taken me about half an hour to clear this corner out. So first I started here. I moved the empty bags and boxes kind of into the furnace room, and then I moved 2 bookshelves just over here, and then I was doing the clothing. So on top of the bookshelves I piled up the pillows, and then in front here is all just comforters. Then my duvet I just kind of threw up on top because it's so big. I have a pile of curtains, I have a pile of tablecloths and runners and things. And then I've got 5 bags that still are full of stuff. I've got a stack of items that my husband's mom had knitted. And then here I have a pile of my purses and bags. The bag there is full of my belts. And then I brought the laundry basket with the shoes. And any of the extra shoes I found I threw on top. I still think I'm missing 1 shoe. So I was missing 6 and I found 5. So I'll look at that later. So I can deal with the clothes in a little bit, or like That's my shoes, purses, belts. I can deal with that as one group of stuff. Stuff my husband's mom had knitted. I'm going to go through and see what we can use. And then these bags, I'm not even going to touch right now. They're fine like that. I have excuse me, a pile of towels, and I will go through and see what we use or won't use. And I also found some clothing. And I think the jeans are ones that I was saving for the jean material themselves for a craft project. Or I might be able to fix the jeans, and I gotta go through them. Yeah, so it took me half an hour to clear this out. So kind of makes me, more stuff over here. So I did clear out the boxes that were along here as well. And there was like nothing really in the boxes. So put boxes down, you throw bedding on top of it, makes your pile look huge. And then I think it was just all the blankets. So that's what I'm going to do next, is I'm just going to go through the bedding and see what is keep, what can go. And same with the towels there. Figure out what we need, what we don't need. And then, yeah, just continue. I'm not touching this stuff because that means I got to do my closet. I'm not doing that today. And I said these bags here, they're already packed. Some of them are kind of empty. So as I go through this stack of bedding, the pile of bedding, I might be able to put some more into these bags. I do have some more of these clear bags sitting inside that purple bag if I need to do that. Just kind of get all the bedding kind of put away. So that's what I'm going to work on next, is this big pile of bedding. Yeah, so I've got all the bedding neatly folded. It does take up a lot of space, but I can see I've got all the comforters and blankets neatly folded. Curtains are there. I've got a stack over here of pillowcases and sheets. And then I got all these bags that were partially full, and I just kind of put, a few extra items in each of those bags. So that cleared up all this bedding and everything that was just in all these different piles are now just neatly here, and I can deal with that another day. Same with this pile of my stuff. I'm dealing with another day, so I'm just going to ignore those. And I'm just going to come here, and I always have this thing, and I always work around the room in a circle. And I look at this pile of stuff over here, and then I look at this pile of stuff over here. So I think I'm going to start on this side of the room. It's just when you've got a whole big space like this, just starting in one corner that looks the easiest to do really gets you more motivated and focused and makes it easier to get things done. So I got those two bookshelves, so I'll move them out of my way. Then I do have a stack of baskets and trays, which, once I get to that, that's nothing. Those are just, baskets and trays. There's nothing there. I've got some empty boxes sitting back there as well. So I'm actually going to, as I'm going through around here, I'm actually going to go through each of these bins and boxes one at a time. So I'm going to take everything out. Right now I've got 4 tubs of stuff here. So I'm going to dump each one out, or kind of go through each one and decide if it's like keep, donate, garbage, whatever. And then I was finding wires, like phone wires and things like that. And I have this little garbage can sitting here, so I just started sticking the wires in here. And then this bucket here is used batteries, so I just thought it's a good place to start as I'm going through and finding, used batteries. And that's all my tie backs. And I got some little kids' dishes. And you can see, it's like this box here has got a lot of Christmas stuff in it. I know that blue tub with no lid. If I take my purses and hats off the top, it's all art supply stuff. And I think the box underneath is art supplies as well. So just gonna start here and just work my way around. Because I really want to get everything down here gone through, and if I don't need it, I'm not keeping it. So I'll be back as I get this stuff kind of gone through, and I'll kind of show you what I find as I am working. It didn't take me long, but I've gotten through the first 2 tubs. That means I got 2 empty tubs already today. And all I've got out of it was the loose art supplies I just threw in the top of this box for now, just because it got them out of those other 2. I did find like a whole bunch of wine corks, just loose in those boxes. Almost half a bag of this little Starbucks wooden bag. I don't drink, but I buy these at, you know, garage sales, secondhand stores. It's a great place. These corks are, you can do so many things with them. I found the baby monitors. I've got a pile of Christmas decor. Well, I guess it's not really much Christmas decor, but it's a few things I've made and a few other odd little pieces, Christmas stuff. Some of those bowl fillers. A whole bunch of these little hooks for over the door. These ones here are for my shoe and purse holders, and then of course one of these for your clothing, and then a bunch of these other picture display holders, whatever you want to call them, and then some 2 of these drawer divider things full of kitchen utensils. So these are the ones I want to dump out and go through. I will say I am not keeping any of these items. I don't need them, so these are going to go right out to the curb right now. I have these plastic ones here. These ones I do actually use. These are for peeling and slicing citrus, which I do find really handy. Oh, I've got another can opener. I've got some measuring spoons. I don't need these measuring spoons, so I can get rid of one. Stapler. I will see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll throw it out. If it works, I'll donate. Like a little scoop, I do not need. A pair of scissors, I do not need. A little squeeze bottle. No, I honestly don't need it. These are fun little shapes. I will take these and put them with my coffee stuff. This is one of those things you put the egg in and you squeeze so it cracks and separates your egg. To be honest, I've hardly ever used it. I can let it go. These little spatulas for icing and stuff, I can let these ones go. I've got my good ones. Same with all these little spoons here. I can get rid of these ones. This one I'm going to keep. This one is actually for peanut butter and jelly. So you got this side here is for your peanut butter, and this side here is for your jelly. I find it works really, really good, this jelly one, for Nutella. So I'm going to actually take this upstairs and get that washed. Oh, my little llama. So let's keep. These are for opening jars, and to be honest, I actually have a good one upstairs. These were just extra ones. These ones like this did not work so good for me. The hard plastic. But it's this one here. I will take this one upstairs, even though I've got one upstairs already. But this is the one that works good for me. Again, this is another one of those can opener things. Hooks. So the cans that have the little pull tab, I find it hard to get, like even pop. I have trouble getting my finger under it, so this really helps. And then it has the leverage. Once you crack it open, and then you can reposition it, and you can pull the lid off. So I do actually need that. These are some nice, good little scissors, or not scissors, good set of knives. I don't need them, so they can go. Like I said, the measuring spoons can go. Apple slicer. I don't need this one. I've got my good one. So these we're keeping. Little citrus peelers. This I do need. It's for a keychain, but again, it has the bottle opener, and it has this thing which I do need for opening like water bottles. I can't grasp things. These tea strainers, they can go. These I gotta keep. I know what these go to. Should be 6. That's okay. They go to a tea set that my kids had. This can go in the garbage. It is so well used. I've got more measuring cups I don't need. This one I'm going to keep because it is so cute, the little tea strainer. And that's the little tray that it sits on. And then I've got a couple of these brand new little ones. I don't have a sink that these will work in, so those can go. I was going to take this can opener upstairs, and that's garbage. And I got some little nails things here. I'm just going to set those there so I don't step on them. But yeah, I've gone through 2 tubs already today. So I said I'm just going to continue with the next couple of tubs. Although these are both just going to be art supplies. I'm not going to really go through them. I already know what's in this one. I'm just going to open this and just see. I think it's all just art supplies. I do see some vase fillers there. I don't think I'm going to touch these ones today because I am not doing the final clear out of everything. I just need to clear this space out, and then I can dump each one of these bins out and each one of the drawers and just really clean this out and figure out what I really have and what I really need to keep. So I'll be back as I get more of this stuff gone through. Yeah, it's just a very slow progress of dumping out and going through each of those boxes. I've got this one here. I'm putting the tiny loose items in. Otherwise, I'm going to have so many little piles, kind of like this pile here. So in this pile, I have tape and glue, ribbon, glitter, maybe some paint. I don't know, little bits of everything basically, and then just all the extra little things that don't seem to be in one of those bigger categories that they kind of need to go into like their own little drawer or box. I'm just putting them in here. So in here, I've got a lot of thread and needles. Stickers, pens, scissors, my glue guns, glue sticks, more little tiny floral picks, some little birds, things like that. That if I had, like I said, had them on the floor, it's just going to be, all over the floor. So this is just more of the house decor stuff I was finding in those containers. Found some empty boxes from makeup I bought because I like the pattern and I wanted to use them in some paper crafts. And then I've got 2 boxes of donations. Those 2 bags there are Christmas decor or other seasonal decor. That's just my stack of baskets and trays that already were empty. This is what I've emptied so far today. So I've got 1, 2, 3 large totes, a small tote, and then all these little baskets were all full of items. So like I said, every little bag or box that you empty and you get this stuff gone through and decide if it's keep or gone, I mean, it really helps. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 baskets. And then I have one of these shoe boxes. And then I just have 2 other small little baskets here. But again, they were full of stuff and now they are empty. That is what I've gone through. And I said this bin here was empty until I started putting small items in it. But that is just getting everything that was here. And I'm starting to take the stuff off of these shelves as well. This shelf was just piled up with stuff. So I'm just going to continue going along. I'm just going to clear off everything that's up on top of these shelves. Now there will be some of these bins, depending on what's in them, if I'm dumping everything out and going through it. Like that little gray basket has a lot of odd things, so I would dump that out and put them in their different categories. Those other 2 things, I'll take a quick look. The one on the bottom should all be glues, but I will double check. The one above it should be some of my stamps, but again, I will double check. Same with like these ones. I'm not dumping these little things out. They're all in little boxes, contained, labeled, or if you can see through, you can, don't need to label everything, but so that's what I've been finding. And I've taken up, I think, 2 more armloads of stuff already upstairs out on my driveway. So like I said, I'm just going to finish clearing off this shelf and then clear off the stuff on these rolling carts here just to the colored one, and then go through these a few boxes that are here. There's 4 boxes and a Dollarama bag. That is my filing cabinet. I'm not touching that today. So that's where I'm going to kind of just work with these things. And then I think I will give me enough room that I actually have little items I need to put in those drawers. So I'm going to start emptying those drawers out because I just really want to get this done and organized. And I know this is going to be such a long video already working on down here, but I'm not gonna show myself doing every little drawer. Actually, I might even do the drawers today. I might do it another day, but I see how far I can get. And then I do know that there's odd little things here, and it's all seasonal or craft stuff that I may or may not be keeping. The stuff that's piled up over there I am definitely keeping, and then again it's this stuff over here I gotta go through as well. So I'll be back as I finish going through all this stuff one last time. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I know I'm just not keeping. So I'll be back. Right. I think I'm basically done my basement. I've got things set out in groups so I know what everything is. I've been down here since like 8 this morning. It is now like 1 p.m. so that is 5 hours today, and I know 7 hours yesterday doing all this. And I don't know how many hours in total since I've started doing this basement. I forget when I started. It started when I moved all those little cubicles upstairs and got upstairs set up and working on down here. But now that I've got all of these boxes and bags like gone through, and now I'm ready to like do like a more organization for every little item. I've got everything kind of grouped together. Yeah, so I'm gonna end my video here. I'm just gonna quickly walk through and show you what I have. So all these bags and boxes is what I had emptied before. These ones that are sitting here is today. That's just baskets and trays. This is my bag of garbage, and it's not quite half full, but it is one of these really extra tall bags. In fact, I know this bag is bigger than our black cart. That's fine. This was just all the loose little crafting things that, seasonal crafting or just other crafting that if I had dumped out, I'd be all over the floor. These 2 carts here is my hair and body care stuff. And this pile here is glue, not glue because I put all the glue away. It's the ribbon, string, glitter, tape, anything like that, other crafting supplies. These 2 tubs here, I didn't really touch them. They were kind of already packed. The one is Christmas ornament making things, and this other one is just cut ribbon. And then, like I said, I've got my laptop bags full of different electronics, my filing box. This red basket here is full of my son's Lego. That box is just more home decor. Going through, this is what I have cleared out. There's this gray, white, red, and this one. So it's another 4 bins I just emptied by going through all of this stuff that was sitting here on the floor. And any of the stuff that was sitting up here. I've got 2 boxes of candles. That's all material, gift wrap, toys. That is tissue paper. I've got a pile of material and fabric and stuff. That blue duffel bag has a couple little stuffed pillow things I gotta fix, but it's all the stuffing I use for when I'm making my cushions. Then I've got a whole bunch of baskets and boxes back there. It's home decor, my shoe rack, and then I've got another bin of toys, and then some games and puzzles stacked up. And like I said, just this Walmart bag is full of jars. This is crafts that were finished or almost done. Then these next 3 boxes is all just glass items. And like I said, I got these 2 boxes are taking out for donations. 2 bags of seasonal decor. and then all the bedding and the bookshelves, and then my purses and shoes. So yes, it's taken me a long time, but I think I'm at the point now where I can just start to pull everything out of each of those drawers, dump it on the floor, and go through and really, go through everything. I'm not going to film myself doing that. That's one of those jobs that, I have to do, and I'll have music blasting and just whatever. So, and then the whole table is also just full of decor and glass items. So yeah, I know this is going to be one of those really long videos, but it's taken me so many weeks to get to this point. I've started down here, then things got moved around, and just now I'm just ready to just, go through, last time going through everything, and it's gone. It's either yes or no. I've got a couple items that are in a maybe pile, and that's because they're pencil cases, and I'm one of those people, I love clear pencil cases, make it easy to see things, but do I need to keep, I think, 5 or 6 when I know I've got more pencil cases, so I kind of have to decide that. As I find, I said, that's one of those things, put all the pencil cases in a pile, see how many do I have, how many do I need. I like the clear ones. Actually, I'll show, where are they? These ones, they're just from the dollar store anyways, but they got the holes for a binder so you can hang them up. They store really nicely, sitting up in little baskets. They do hold quite a bit. So I can use these, for crafts, hair, makeup, other things throughout the house. So I have to decide, do I really need them or not? But like I said, I have gotten rid of so much stuff already in the last couple of days too. So don't really have that much more. Oops, my hand is blocking the camera. I don't really have, that much more stuff to really go through. My next thing will be the garage. So I'm going to finish off this week doing the garage. Thinking next week. I have to look at my calendar. I don't know. I've got first week of June. I won't be doing anything. I won't really be doing too much. But yes. So I guess I'm going to end here and just say thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to my channels and watches my videos, and I will see you in the next ones. Bye.